Let's get right into it. Number 10. The Press Your Luck Pattern Memorization. Imagine being so good at patterns that TV networks have to change their entire game show because of you. That's exactly what happened with Michael Larson, an ice cream truck driver from Ohio. Back in 1984, Larson noticed something weird while watching Press Your Luck from his couch. The game show's board, which was supposed to be random, actually had patterns. Most contestants played it safe because they thought the board was random, but Larson spent 6 months recording episodes on his VCR, watching them frame by frame. He discovered there were only 5 patterns the board used, so he memorized them all. When he finally got on the show, the producers had no idea what was about to hit them. Larson played for 40 straight minutes, hitting nothing but cash squares. The other contestants just stood there, watching him rack up $110,237. That's over $300,000 in today's money. The producers were freaking out. They thought he was cheating, but technically, he wasn't breaking any rules. CBS didn't want to air the episode at first, but their lawyers said they had to. Larson hadn't done anything illegal. From then on, the show completely reprogrammed their board to be actually random. One ice cream truck driver with too much free time and a VCR forced an entire TV network to change their game. When asked why he did it, Larson said, "The money was there, and I went and got it." Number 9. The Coin Mint Credit Card Scheme. The U.S. Mint was selling dollar coins at face value with free shipping, and they accepted credit cards. Brad Wilson saw an opportunity. He would buy massive amounts of dollar coins using his rewards credit cards. We're talking millions of dollars worth of coins. Then he'd take these heavy boxes of coins straight to the bank, deposit them, and use that money to pay off his credit card. Rinse and repeat. And get this, he got to keep all the reward points and cash back. It was completely legal. He was just buying money with money. Brad wasn't the only one who figured this out. Soon, thousands of people were ordering coins from the mint. Some people were earning so many airline miles they could fly first class around the world for free. The mint started noticing something weird. They were shipping tons of coins to residential addresses, and these same coins were showing up at banks still in their original packaging. The scheme got so big that in 2011 the mint had to change their rules. They banned credit card purchases of coins completely. By that point, Brad and others had already racked up millions of airline miles and rewards points. The funniest part is the Mint's original goal was to get more dollar coins into circulation. Instead, they accidentally created an army of credit card hackers. Number 8. The Guaranteed Prize Scratch-Off Hack. Imagine you're standing at a gas station, staring at those scratch-off tickets behind the counter. Back in 2003, a geological statistician named Mohan Srivastava proved that you could, in fact, beat the system. He cracked the code. One day, Mohan was looking at a tic-tac-toe ticket when something caught his eye. Being a statistician who worked with patterns in rocks, he noticed something weird about the numbers printed on the card. They weren't random at all. They followed a pattern. Using his knowledge of statistics, he figured out he could tell which tickets were winners just by looking at the visible numbers. He didn't even need to scratch them. This guy could walk into any store and pick out winning tickets like he was shopping for ripe avocados. Instead of getting rich, he did something unexpected. He called the lottery commission and told them about the flaw. He calculated that even with his method, he'd only make about $600 per day. To him, that wasn't worth giving up his day job and spending hours picking through tickets. The lottery companies freaked out. They had to completely redesign their printing process to make sure no one else could crack the code. Number 7. The radio contest Redialer ban. Imagine you're playing a game of musical chairs, but one kid brings 50 identical twins to sit down when the music stops. This happened with radio contests in the 1990s, thanks to Daniel Radin. He looked at those caller number 10 wins contests and built a machine to redial for him, an auto dialer from hell, like bringing a machine gun to a water balloon fight. In just 18 months, he won 13 cars, 4 boats, and enough vacation packages to spend a year traveling. It was completely legal at the time. There wasn't a single rule against using an auto dialer because nobody thought someone would actually build one. But his winning streak was so ridiculous that the FCC had to step in. Now every radio contest has a disclaimer about no automated dialing devices because of Daniel Radin, the guy who turned radio contests into his personal ATM. Number 6. The dice sliding craps rule. You're at a casino, watching some guy absolutely destroying the house at craps, but something looks weird about how he's throwing the dice. Instead of actually throwing them, this guy is just sliding them across the table, like he's serving them dinner instead of gambling. This was Dominic Lorigio, also known as the Dominator. He discovered that if you slide the dice just right, keeping one face perfectly flat against the table, you could control how they land. It's like playing bowling, but with tiny cubes and way more money at stake. The casinos were losing their minds. This guy was walking away with thousands of dollars, all because he figured out you don't actually have to throw the dice like everyone else. The best part is, it wasn't even technically cheating at first. There was no rule that said you had to throw the dice in any particular way. The casinos quickly added a new rule. All dice throws must hit the back wall of the table. That textured, pyramid-covered wall isn't there to look pretty. It's there specifically to make sure the dice tumble randomly and can't be slid. Number 5. The Submarine Patent Strategy. Jerome Lemelson played the longest game of hide-and-seek ever with his patents. He'd file a patent application, then keep it hidden like a submarine, making tiny changes year after year to keep the application pending. Meanwhile, companies would develop similar technology, thinking they were in the clear. Then, decades later, he'd surface the patent and claim they all owed him money. His most famous submarine patent was for barcode readers. He filed it in 1954, kept it pending for decades, then popped up after barcode scanners were everywhere, demanding royalties. It's like building a house, living in it for 20 years, then some guy shows up with paperwork from 1954 saying he owns the land. Lemelson made over $1 billion from his submarine patents. Because of this, the Patent Office changed the rules. Patents now expire 20 years from the filing date, not the issue date, closing the submarine loophole for good. Number 4. The all-you-can-carry shopping spree rule. It's 1987, and a grocery store in Minnesota decides to run what they think is a brilliant promotion. Win the contest, and you get 5 minutes to grab anything you can carry out of the store. No carts, just your arms full of groceries. Enter Dave Thompson, an engineer who took one look at those rules and thought, challenge accepted. This guy showed up looking like a doomsday prepper crossed with a pack mule. He had built this crazy harness system with straps, hooks, and a modified backpack that could expand to hold way more than any normal human should be able to carry. The store managers watched in horror as Dave methodically loaded himself up like a human Tetris game. He wasn't just grabbing random stuff either. This guy had mapped out the store and knew exactly where the expensive items were. By the time his 5 minutes were up, Dave was carrying thousands of dollars worth of groceries. The store had to honor it, but you can bet they rewrote those rules. Now every all-you-can-carry contest specifically bans carrying aids, backpacks, or any modified clothing. Some stores even make contestants wear a standard t-shirt and shorts just to be safe. Number 3. The chess engine in the shoe ban. Back in 2015, a chess player named Arcangelo Ricciardi showed up to an international tournament in Italy, looking ready to win, and win he did, beating players way above his skill level, but something was off about him. Tournament officials noticed he was blinking weirdly and kept touching his armpit. Turns out this guy had turned himself into a human chess computer. He had a camera hidden in his pendant that was streaming the game to an accomplice. They were running the moves through a chess engine and sending the best moves back to him through a device hidden in his shoe that vibrated in Morse code. When officials tried to scan him with a metal detector, he refused. He was caught because he was playing too perfectly. His moves were so flawless and inhuman that it raised immediate suspicion. Now, thanks to this guy, chess tournaments have more security than some airports. Players get scanned, their shoes get checked, and some tournaments even have signal jammers to prevent this kind of high-tech cheating. Number 2. The self-published bestseller scam. Back in high school, there's always that kid who wants to be voted most popular, so he buys everyone pizza at lunch. That's basically what happened with the New York Times bestseller list back in 1995. An author named William Rooney really wanted to be a bestseller, but instead of writing a book people actually wanted to read, he found a loophole. He figured out which bookstores reported their sales numbers to the New York Times. Then he went around buying thousands of copies of his own book from these specific stores. The plan worked for a week. His book shot up to number 13 on the bestseller list. The New York Times noticed something was fishy when they saw massive sales spikes in a few random bookstores. It's like if suddenly one McDonald's sold 10,000 Big Macs in a day, but only to one customer. They investigated and found out about Rooney's scheme. They removed his book and created a whole new system. Now they track patterns that might indicate bulk purchases. They even put a little dagger symbol next to books they suspect of having inflated sales, all because one author tried to buy his way to the top. Number 1. The empty box return fraud policy. Stores now always open and check your returns. That's because of creative scammers back in the early 2000s. Someone would buy an expensive laptop or gaming console. Then they'd carefully open the box, take out the device, and replace it with something that weighed about the same. We're talking bricks, old phone books, even cat litter. This scam got so bad that Best Buy alone lost millions of dollars in 1 year from fake returns. There were organized crime rings dedicated to empty box returns. They'd hit different stores across the country, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. One group in California made $700,000 before getting caught. Some stores tried fighting back by weighing the return boxes, but the scammers just got more creative, using lead weights to match the exact weight of the electronics. This forced a massive, industry-wide policy change. No longer could you return a sealed box without question. So now we all have to stand there awkwardly while a store clerk unboxes and inspects our returns, all because some people decided a new laptop and a brick weighed the same. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.